here, Mr. Peterson.
Tell them to be seated. I'll be through here in a few minutes.
Please have a seat.
Is Miss Whitkey in the group, Gretchen?
No, Mr. Peterson.
Good. When she comes, tell her to wait. Send the others in.
You may go in now.
Good afternoon, Myron.
PM, Congressman. Sit down, gentlemen. Be right with you. Well, no time for niceties, gentlemen. I'll get right to the point. PM, I've decided I like your idea. It's timely. Don't you agree, Congressman?
Well,
Timely and charitable. Yes, charitable. To those who only need a firm grip on the bootstraps to rise above the slag pile that is Appalachia.
I just like that word charitable.
I would have said that derogatory remark referring to my state as a slag pile.
Benevolent. Yes, that's the word. Benevolent. A training school for young Appalachians. A chance to compete with confidence. Benevolent. Don't you think, Myron?
Try profitable.
Why, of course. Profitable. A working plan within the system. A movement towards free enterprise solutions to
It's
poverty.
a movement, PM, but don't get flushed away with your enthusiasm.
So what's next?
So we need to sell it to a Washington committee. And that calls for a standard presentation, right, Congressman?
I would say so.
And a standard presentation calls for a standard presentation writer. And that standard presentation writer should be in my outer office right now. I know anything about standard presentation writers, gentlemen. Has Miss Whitkey arrived yet?
She came in just a moment ago, Mr. Peterson.
Ask her to come in.
You may go in now.
This is the age of specialization, gentlemen. Meet a specialist.
Mildred.
Yes, Mildred. Mildred Whitkey.
My pleasure, Mr.
Valentine. PM Valentine. And this is Congressman Harold Neal from West Virginia, 7th District.
17th district.
No time for niceties. I'll get to the point. Whitkey is a standard presentation writer. She knows what the committee wants. She knows how to write it the standard presentation way. We tell her the plan. She writes a presentation. You present it to the committee, Congressman, and the rest is routine.
I understand we're going after a school. Is that correct?
No, not just a school. An entire training program for the children of Appalachia. The education-starved masses of Bromley County, West Virginia.
Pigeons are in Cromley County, West Virginia.
Pigeons.
Sorry, Congressman. It's just a trade expression. I don't use the term in the standard presentation, of course.
Well, I don't like it. These are my people, you know.
Sorry, Congressman. Scratch pigeons. Are these pigeons, Mr. Valentine? You say they are children?
No, not really children. Youth. Young men and women. You know, the 18 to 25 variety.
Deprived, barefoot, semi-literate, young men and women crying out for a chance in life.
Ooh, that's good. Oh, did I say that?
Pathos, Mr. Valentine. We must have pathos. After all, we're asking for... How much was that amount?
Oh, $900,000?
Oh, Mr. Valentine, I really think we have to go for 1.5 or 2 million. Appalachian grants are pretty big this season.
1.5 million.
Make it an even 2 million, Mildred. She works on a straight 5%.
Now, this school, what exactly will it teach? Arithmetic, the 3 R's?
No. A special art. Interviewing.
Interviewing?
Or I should say the fine art of being interviewed. You see, we have found these people have no idea how to be interviewed for a job. They don't even comb their hair, so they make bad impressions. And that puts them at a disadvantage, I think. But with an Appalachian grant, we plan to set up a school to teach them how to make good impressions in interviews and give them an equal chance with, say, the people from Charleston or New York City.
Equal opportunities. That's big. Equal opportunity for
Actually, about the only thing in Crawley County is the strip mine owned by Congressman Neal.
Look, Bingham, you don't have to pussyfoot around with Whipkey here. Just give her the info she needs for her standard presentation. Don't worry about the adjectives, the reasons, and that crap. What do you think she gets her 5% for? Just give her some statistics. Stuff she can work with.
That's right, Mr. Valentine. I'm more or less with you, you might say. Now you have a scholarship program.
Scholarships?
Part of the grant has to be used for scholarships if you want to be standard.
Scholarships?
Don't worry, there are ways to get the money back.
Oh, scholarships. About 30. Sound okay?
Make it 30. 30 sounds too even to be calculated. Now then, you have a building, I presume.
Absolutely. We have option on the old company store that went under where the shaft mines. It's owned by Congressman Neal's cousin.
Perfect. Utilization of existing facilities. Good show. Your cousin isn't named Mueller, is he, Congressman?
No, it's Wilkins.
Good. That solves that dilemma. I'd say we need about $75,000 percentage-wise to rehabilitate the building. Think you can do that?
That sounds reasonable.
Let's see. We better think of something also audio-visual. It's big right now, and a couple members of the committee have interest there also.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I hadn't really thought about that.
Well, let's see. You'll need a 17-inch LCD screen, a digital projector, digital camcorder, and a large 52-inch plasma screen monitor, so they can see themselves in the practice interviews. Yes, that's it. Projector, camcorder, LCD screen. The latest mass.
Great.
Just right.
And clothing allowances. The grant provides some allowances if you sell them clothes at a nominal fee with a normal profit, of course.
Of course. Great. Clothes for interviews.
Normal profit.
Why, of course.
Classroom equipment, teaching staff.
That includes Schubert. Remember that, BM.
Your son will be the first one hired, Myron.
Listen, Valentine, if Schubert comes back to Washington, you can kiss my influence goodbye.
Don't worry, Myron. I like Schubert.
Staff, pay through the tuition.
Tuition?
23% into the stipend.
Stipend? Wait a minute, what stipend?
Sorry, trade expression. 23% for miscellaneous operating expenses.
Oh. Increased budget for operating.
And tiers. Now that's top for gratitude. It's not a percentage, but it goes right up there after miscellaneous operating expenses in a standard presentation.
Tiers.
It's as important as pathos.
Pathos.
Let's see. A working title. How about Operation Uplift?
Uplift.
5% for payoffs. Now I dislike the word, but one must be realistic.
Realistic. I
I can handle the part about poverty.
Ham.
Pigeons, ham, statistics, tiers, equipment. Gentlemen, I think we have it. The plan looks good, standard presentation-wise. I'll work it over. It may take some time, but I think it's safe to say we're going to get it in the end.
The end. many young people as I have seen in all of my academic career. All of you, I promise something special for your work, and B.M. Valentine delivers. Yes, my young and underprivileged friends, I offer you more than money. I offer opportunity, a new light in the darkness, a chicken in every pot. Oh, just kidding. That new light is scholarships. Yes, scholarships. The symbol of equality, the great equalizer of democracy. And you, my fortunate young friend, what's your name, son? What's your name?
Cheeseberry, sir. Floppo cheeseberry.
Floppo. Well, how do you spell it? Never mind. Did you get that, Miss Cuff? Write that down. So, T-Berry, you say? Well, Mr. T-Berry, you are the first full-fledged student of Operation Uplift. Now, if you'll just step right over there, Miss Cuff, and fill out the necessary forms, she'll take care of the rest.
I know you can do it. Why, we're just going to get you already here. You know, like a student. Now, you just go over and talk to the nice lady like the say.
And who are you?
I'm your waiter. I'm Floppo's mammy. You sure did make a good choice there, mister. My Floppo, he's got real talent. Why, he can cook up a batch of hooch faster than his red pappy ever could. Of course, I'm not sure who his pappy was.
Well, thank you for all that useful information.
Oh, never mind.
Now, let's see. We should have our first female student. Oh, I'm sorry. You exceed the age limit. And about every other limit there is. Let's see. You are female, aren't you? Well, why don't you step right over here, and I'll help you fill out your form personally. Although, you've done a pretty good job of that yourself. Now, tell me, my dear, the rest of you, just give your names to Miss Cough, Miss Rosemary Cough, my special assistant, and don't forget the part-time janitor's job. I do not want to have to sweep. So, tell me, my dear, you don't happen to have a name like, Floppo, do you? Well, let me guess. Is it Marilyn? Or, wait a minute, how about Gina Lowe? Or perhaps Dolly?
It's Leota Minx.
Oh, lovely. Well, tell me, Leota, how did you happen to answer our advertisement for Operation Uplift?
Just something to do, I guess. Sounded better than working at the diner.
Oh, it is. It is. We're going to teach you things. Individual attention. That's the key. I'm going to give you my individual attention. I mean, make you an example of success.
Really?
Really? Now, what is it that you would most like to do?
Well, anything, I guess. I'd like to get away from here. Maybe find someone who likes me for more than just my body. If you know what I mean.
Oh, I do. I do. Someone who can think of you in a mature sort of way. Someone a little older, perhaps. Someone who can think of you for more than just more than just...
Nookie.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I know. Yes, I know. It's terrible how some people seem so obsessed.
Oh, I like it. It's okay. But there are other things, too.
You do? It is. I mean, there are? Yes, there are. Yes. Well, you and I, we need to have a talk. Yes, and the rest of you, have you left your names with this talk? Well, good. Then I'll see you Friday 9 a.m. Don't be late. Friday 9 a.m. Don't forget. We'll take care of everything else then. Nookie. Oh, Mrs. Goff, Operation Uplift is on its way. Where is Schubert?
college, I always dreamed of it. And now I'm actually doing it. And in Appalachia, I just want to help all these people. You know what I mean? It's a challenge, Mr. Valentine. A challenge.
Is Schubert.
To know that I can personally help someone. Me, really help someone. Schubert?
Yes, Schubert. If that boy goes back to Washington, this whole thing's kaput.
Well, I don't understand.
You don't need to understand, Miss Croft. Just make sure that Schubert stays in West Virginia. It's part of the bargain I made with his father. If he goes back to Washington, I'm dead.
Dead?
Well, figuratively. Never mind, I'll find you myself. Nookie.
What was that, Mr. Valentine?
Young people how to get jobs. Do you have a job?
Not really.
There ain't many jobs to be found around these parts, and the deep mines have all closed. It don't take near as many to do the strip mining.
That's wonderful. Oh, I mean, that's too bad. What I mean to say is, it's wonderful. I'm going to get a chance to help you.
Help me, ma'am?
Well, yes. You are going to sign up for the school, aren't you? I mean, if you don't have a job and everything, you can be my special subject.
You really lost me, ma'am.
Oh, for my thesis. You see, I'm really doing two things here. I'm working with Mr. Valentine on Operation Uplift, of course, but I'm also hoping to do a thesis for my master's degree in sociology. That's my major, and I was hoping to concentrate on one person who shows promise. And you show promise.
Do I, ma'am?
Yes, and stop calling me ma'am. I'll bet you're as old as I am. How old are you?
36, ma'am. Miss.
Oh, see, I'm 28, so you should call me Rosemarie. Maybe I should call you sir.
Oh, don't do that. I'll call you Rosemary if you call me Johnny Lee.
That's kind of musical, isn't it? I guess you'll be our best student.
No, hold on. I didn't say I was going to be a student. I said I was curious. What you going to teach anyway?
Oh, I'm not going to teach at all. We have a Mr. Kanker coming in for that. He used to be with the Peace Corps, and he's ideally qualified.
Then what's Mr. Kanker going to teach?
Well, the art of being interviewed, mostly. It is an art, you know. Mr. Valentine says a lot of people around here don't have a chance to get a job because they've never been taught how to prepare for an interview.
Well, how do you prepare for an interview?
Well, that's what you learn in the school, Johnny Lee. You simply must sign up.
Well, then I learn how to interview for a job.
Mr. Valentine guarantees it.
Rosemary, I don't mean to sound more ignorant than I already do. Can I ask you one more question?
Of course, Johnny Lee.
Well, why is Mr. Kanker going to teach them how to interview for jobs if there ain't any jobs to interview for?
Well, Mr. Valentine said, well, I don't believe I asked him that question, so I don't know what he said, do I? I better write that down. That's a very good question, Johnny Lee. See, you're asking good questions already. That's the sure sign of a good student. You simply must sign up for the school, please.
Hold on, Rosemary.
Oh, please. I need to have a job, too. Mr. Valentine has authorized me to hire one of the students as a part-time janitor, and you get paid in addition to your scholarship. You just have to sweep up once in a while and do some other jobs. Please, Johnny Lee.
I don't know.
Oh, please.
Oh, well, okay. I'll give it a try, but still, it don't make no sense.
Oh, it will. I promise. Mr. Valentine is a great, great man. He left an exciting life in Washington to come down here and serve his country. Come on, I'd like to show you what Mr. Valentine plans to do with the school. He loves it here already. Why, just today, he asked me to help him make sure Schubert Peterson doesn't go back to Washington. He's dedicated. He really is.
Don't worry, Schubert. You're in complete charge of the community action group. It's your baby.
Well, what will that be? What will I do?
Questions. But that's good, Schubert. If we don't ask questions, we can't find answers. And that's what we're here after, isn't it? Answers. Answers to the questions of poverty. Answers to the voices crying out in the wilderness of Appalachia. That's good, Schubert. That's why we must stay here. Stay until these people have the chance that you and I had, Schubert. I'm proud of you, Wolf. And so is your father. If you went back home now, you'd be letting him down. And me also.
Father did seem pretty anxious for me to come.
And well he should, my boy. You don't know what it means to me to have someone of your connections, creative ability on the job.
You really mean it, Mr. Valentine?
Would I say something I didn't mean? Of course not. Now, are you ready to set the wheels in motion? Get the stones rolling, so to speak?
Well, I'm ready.
Big job to do, big job. And you're right at ground zero for Appalachian launch, Schubert, my boy. Now, doesn't that excite you? Don't you just want to dig in?
Yes.
Then we stay here until the job is done. You and I, right, Schubert?
Right, Mr. Valentine.
Oh, I need you, Schubert. And I'm so glad that you'll be at my side continually.
But Mr. Valentine...
Oh, Schubert, my boy. Together, we will bring happiness to these hills of Crockett County.
But Mr. Valentine, what will I do?
What will you do? Well, we begin by making plans for the community action group. Yeah, we'll need something in writing. We'll need the backing of the community. Yes, you can structure a plan of action. A plan of action, my boy. And keep up those good questions. Your father would be proud of you.
So you see, your scholarship money will cover the cost of tuition and even the clothes.
Clothes?
Oh, yes. Mr. Valentine says clothes are important to use. He even gets them at a special price from Schubert Peterson's father in Washington. The office equipment comes from there, too. Everyone's helping. Mr. Valentine has connections. We hardly have to pay full price for anything.
You mean we get scholarships, but all the money goes for clothes and tuition?
Well, yes, that's what a scholarship is. And you even get to keep the clothes. Oh, hi there.
Hi, I'm looking for B.M. Valentine.
Oh, you must be Mr. Kanker.
Yes, I am, and then you must be with Operation Uplift.
I'm Rosemary Cobb, special assistant to Mr. Valentine. And this is Mr. Johnny Greenwood, one of our new students. Welcome aboard, Mr. Kanker. Welcome to Operation Uplift. I'm sure you'll find your stay here every bit as rewarding as the Peace Corps.
exciting this makes?
To tell you the truth, I don't know what you mean, Mr. Kanker.
I mean, the feeling of accomplishment. Just look how you've changed in 3 weeks.
Changed?
Oh, don't think I haven't noticed you, Miss Meeks.
Yeah.
Yes, you express yourself very well in class now.
Yeah?
Truthfully, I'm impressed with your aptitude.
Yeah?
You know what I'd like to do with you?
Yeah.
I'd like to have you be the first to appear on a taped interview when our new video equipment arrives. We could send it to Washington in our progress report.
That's what you'd like to do with me?
Exactly. I'd like to tape you.
Why, that's certainly different.
Different than what?
Than usual. You mean you're not interested in my...
I'm not only interested in your capacity to learn, Miss Meeks, but in your dedication to Operation Uplift.
You mean you like me as a person?
As a person and as an student pupil, Miss Meeks.
I like you as a person too, Mr. Kanker. I really do.
Well, then you agree
To what?
to being on the videotape.
I agree to anything you say, Mr. Kanker.
Anything?
Anything.
Well, good. Then it's settled. You're my selection.
You're my selection too, Mr. Kanker.
Your selection?
I mean, I've never had anyone interested in taking me before, in my capacity to learn.
To tell you the truth, this is my first time too.
For what?
For videotaping. Frankly, I'm quite excited.
Me too.
Well, you're a very outstanding student, Miss Minks. A very outstanding lady. And I think I'm gonna go see what they've heard about the video equipment.
What is this new thing I feel? Like being on a Ferris wheel, away from all the people down below. So now I'm happy all because he told me I'm somebody. It has been noticed before that with the things most men adore, there really isn't much I need to know. Let them keep drooling, now I know I'm fooling. I'm somebody. At night I watch the stars, hoping to be on Mars, sad with the only life I know. I thought I'd never know what makes the heavens glow, and now I feel a glimmer on my own. Could this just be reality? That I can really just be me, and someone likes the me that doesn't show. Could be deceiving, but he has me believing I'm somebody. I'm somebody. I'm somebody.
My dear Neal, I believe we are alone at last. You needn't say it. I know the feeling.
You do?
Gratitude. You feel gratitude.
Is that what I feel?
But you needn't.
I need?
No, it is I. My gratitude is in finding you. You are a flower of Appalachia, and I want you to bloom. I want to assure you that a size 8 will be just fine. And you should have at least a size 39, new clothes, part of the program. Hello, Rosemary.
But we got new clothes last week, Mr. Valentine.
Oh, there'll be more, my boy, more.
But that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Mr. Valentine.
Questions, but that's good. Haven't I always said that in this talk? Questions are the essence of education. Now, what question do you have, my boy?
Well, these clothes, for one thing. It seems like all of our scholarship money is going towards these new clothes, whether we want it to or not.
Ah, a good question. Very valid, too. Well, you see, new clothes is part of the program. You may not know how important yet, but you will as we advance into the behavioral sciences.
Sciences?
Ah, yes. The delineation of self-confidence. The evolution from the teacher-student relationship to the employer-interviewee relationship.
You mean?
Job application. We must never lose sight of the big picture. Operation Uplift. Interviewing the big picture.
Well, this big picture of ours is another thing I wanted to talk to you about, Mr. Valentine. What jobs are we gonna interview for?
Expectations? Good. I must congratulate Mr. Keller.
But there ain't any jobs. See, that's the problem. And I've been thinking,
Let me guess. You've been thinking that there aren't any jobs for our interview. Am I right, my boy?
yeah, that's right. And I don't understand. Well, my question is, what good is it to learn how to interview for jobs if there ain't any jobs to interview for? Do you see what I mean, Mr. Valentine?
Oh, I see, and I understand your concern, but you see, that's part of the problem, the need for education. You see, in your untrained mind, you have the problem all twisted. You ask the question, why should we learn to apply for a job if there are no jobs? But the behavioral sciences teach us that the question should be, what good will jobs be if people don't know how to apply for them?
I guess I don't know very much about behavioral sciences.
Be patient, lad, patient. Give Mr. Keller a chance. Learn. Learning is the essence of education.
Well, anyway, I've got an idea.
An idea. Wonderful. Ideas are the essence of learning.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it'd be a great idea if we could maybe get a small factory to come down here into the area. You know, maybe our school could help persuade to come along. Well, Mr. Keller, give me some literature now.
Factory here now?
Yeah, like a small plastics plant. You know, it don't take much capital. And like I said, maybe our school can help persuade them to come down here in the area, Crown County.
Capital? Where did you hear about capital? And just remember, boy, we're not ready yet.
But wouldn't it be an incentive for us students?
That's a wonderful idea, Johnny Lee, don't you think, Mr. Valentine?
But-
An incentive. You're innovating, Johnny Lee. It's a breakthrough already. Teacher-student interdependence. Now, Johnny Lee, what do you project as the next step?
Me?
Of course it's your idea. An exploration in self-reliance. Sociology 304. What do you suggest? We can stimulate. You must explore, Johnny Lee.
Maybe I could.
Think, Johnny Lee. Think. Follow through from supposition to, precept. That's it. From supposition to precept, and then you can formulate a plan of action.
Well, I don't know if I can do all that, Miss Marie.
Oh, of course you can. I can be your stimulus, and you can be the stimulee.
You think so?
Of course. First, we must define the elements of your supposition. Then, we will formulate your precept. Mr. Keller, it's working. It's working.
What's working, Miss Scott?
A real life change, agent style.
Really?
Johnny Lee's in a supposition phase already.
You mean?
Yes, tell him, Johnny Lee.
Well, I just suggested getting a factory to come down here in the area, you know, something to interview for.
See, a supposition.
It is.
It's just an idea, really.
Just an idea, just an idea. Listen to him. It's an honest to goodness sociological supposition if I ever heard one.
She's right, Johnny Lee.
And you started it all, Mr. Keller.
I, Miss Scott?
You must have. Your teaching, your inspiration. What else could it have been?
Well, for heaven's sake, I didn't even realize. But
Come on, Johnny Lee. A supposition can't be left to die. We've got to start working on it right away. The real thing we have to work toward is a plan of action.
That's a wonderful thing you've done, Mr. Keller.
you mean with Johnny Lee?
With all of us.
Well, I will admit it's a little early to be to the pupil supposition stage. In fact, I never got that far in the Peace Corps.
You can get as far as you want with me, Mr. Keller.
Far? Far.
Maybe you can help me make a supposition, Mr. Keller.
Well, I don't know, Leota. Miss Minx. I think a supposition just kind of happens.
Well, maybe if you told me what a supposition is, I could get one.
Well, it's a term we use. Anyway, it's a term Miss confuses. Actually, I guess it's really just an idea.
Well, that's easy. Let's close our eyes.
Okay.
I think I'm getting an idea already, Mr. Keller.
Yeah, I think I can feel it warming your body, Miss Minx.
Is it supposed to?
Well, not a real professional supposition, I don't think.
Well, it's a good idea, though. You want to hear it?
I think I'm afraid to hear it, Miss Minx.
See, that's the trouble.
trouble with me. I've never had these suppositions before. And if I like a person, I guess there's only one kind of idea I know how to get.
Well, perhaps we could go and help Johnny Lee and his cause with their supposition. That's it. We could make it a sort of class project.
And maybe I can get taped.
Maybe if the video equipment arrives, I'll understand what happened to it when the money was called for weeks ago.
But where will we get our students if some idiot brings a plastic plant here?
I don't know.
And where did that young Appalachian hear about capital and Senate?
I don't know. In fact, I don't even know what you're talking about, Mr. Valentine.
And Miss Scott, even Mr. Canker, I picked them so carefully.
What about my community action plan?
Oh, screw community action.
Think I'll go home.
No, son, you can't do that. You can't do that, son. We've come to depend on you here.
But I haven't done anything.
But you will. Right now. Let's see. What does a community action group do, Schubert? They meet. And where do they meet? In a meeting room. And where is that?
I don't know.
Exactly. They don't have one. So you, Schubert, will build them one.
But I can't build anything, Mr. Valentine.
But of course not. I don't expect you to build it yourself. You're a leader of men. That's why I chose you for this important task. You will lead others into building a lodge. Yes, a lodge in the pond. Yes.
But what do I do, Mr. Valentine?
Well, first we must see if we can get the materials from Congressman Mueller's lumberyard, and if you'll find out if Congressman Mueller's cousin has any spare land that he'd like to sell at a nominal fee, we'll probably need another grant, and we'll build a lodge, and if anybody asks about jobs, we'll show them all the carpenters we're hiring.
Maybe Johnny Lee can help me find out. He seems pretty smart.
You stay away from him, Schubert. He's not my idea of a true Appalachian.
But what about a supposition?
I'll supposition him right where it hurts. Can you imagine what a wild idea like that could do?
No, Mr. Valentine.
You bring a bunch of industry into Crawford County, and what do you have?
I don't know.
Jobs. That's what. Jobs. And if we have jobs, what will happen to our school?
I don't know.
And if we lose a school, where will we get our students?
I don't know.
Oh, Schubert, that kid's dangerous. He's un-American. Why, he wants to kill my free enterprise by bringing jobs to Cromley County.
In what city is this clothes store located? They sure got some awful looking duds.
Actually, Johnny Lee, you puzzle me. You seem like the perfect subject for my thesis, but you don't fit anything.
I sure enough hope not.
I mean, sociologically. Honestly, I'm supposed to prepare a longitudinal personality curve, but you just don't fit your environmental lineation.
Is all that book?
I think so. At least I used to think so. Oh, I wish Dr. Gustafson were here.
You need a doctor, Rosemary?
Dr. Gustafson is a sociology professor. He's my thesis advisor.
That thesis sure does mean a lot to you, don't it?
I guess so. Or maybe not. I don't know. I seem to be getting nowhere with it. Maybe you can become too involved. Lose your objectivity. I don't know.
Can I help?
Well, I'm confused. All I know is I picked you as a subject and I can't even draw a simple longitudinal curve on you.
Maybe you ought to switch to Leota if you're looking for curves.
Be serious. No, don't be serious. You're too serious now. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, what is it you want, Rosemary? You want me to be silly? Or mean?
You're making fun of me, Johnny Lee.
No, Rosemary, no. What is it you want? You want me to be bashful? You? Oh, debonair? No, that won't do. How about a muscle? Or two? Or a jug of home brew? Should I be rural for you? It's all I know how to do. People wanna help just by leaving alone. The only place I call home. Should I be rural for you? It's what you'd like me to do. Sitting at city lights, never miss them at all. Not when mountain winds call. So now listen, little girl, close your books up and learn, little girl. It's not much to discern, little girl. Don't you know where to turn? Should I be rural for you? It's what you'd like me to do. Don't you understand? There's no help from above. Not unless you're in love. Should I be rural for you? It's all I know how to do. It's what you'd like me to do. Should I be rural for you?
Oh, Johnny Lee, how could I be so stupid? I didn't realize.
You're not stupid, you're right. I'm too serious.
No, you're not.
I'm so damn serious that I don't even fit a curve.
Stupid and inconsiderate.
No, stop saying that. You're not stupid. I really, look, I like to be studied, see? How do I fit your curve?
Stop it. I feel bad enough already, Johnny Lee.
I don't want you to feel bad enough. I really want to know how to fit your curve.
All those things you said about rural and everything, though, I don't care about sociology and curve all of a sudden.
Oh, but you should, Rosemary. I really want to know why I don't fit your curve.
Well, Johnny Lee, it's just that you were born and raised here in Crumley County, and you should be more...
Rural?
Yes, I guess that's it. But instead, you're...
And you're...
I wish...
Oh, and I wish...
I'd listened better in Social 102.
Well, what was in it?
Well, it was about... I really don't remember. That's why I wish I'd listened better.
Do you think maybe you and I was in Social 102?
I think so. No, I don't think so. At least I'm pretty sure you weren't in Social 102. At least you don't fit
The curve?
I'm afraid so.
Rosemary, tell me about the curve. The one I don't fit.
You don't fit the curve because it gives a correlation between environment and personal achievement potential. And you seem very potent. I mean, you have potential. What I mean to say is, you have achievement potential that you shouldn't have because of your environment.
Guess I'm not very high on the environmental curve.
Oh, I'll seem so snobbish now, but it's not supposed to really. You see, sociological chronologies on achievement and background show that a person hardly ever rises very far above his original environment if he doesn't get out before 16 years of age. Or 21. That's part of what I don't remember. Even the potential to get out isn't there after a certain age. That is, of course, certain criteria criteria and individual judgments vary, so nothing's really absolute. And in this case, the findings seem fairly consistent. I thought I could help you without pushing you beyond the existing longitudinal curves. Dr. Gustafson said I shouldn't extend beyond the existing known factors on just a master's degree. If I were working on a doctorate, that would be different. But a master's degree should be kept fairly simple, and you're...
And you thought I was fairly simple?
Yes. No. Well, maybe I thought so, but you're outside the norms.
You mean I'm not normal?
You're too normal. No, that's not right. Well, you're doing things you shouldn't be doing.
What am I doing?
Well, it's like the school, for one thing.
What should I be doing?
You should be more content.
Content, that's good, huh?
Like the school, for one thing.
Well, what should I be content with?
The school and Mr. Valentine.
You mean I have to like Mr. Valentine to fit your norms?
Well, he did come to Conley County to help you, you know.
Yes, I know.
And you're just not sincere about the school.
Maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'm sincere about the school and I can prove it to you.
How?
With this letter.
What letter? To whom?
Not to, from the State Department of Development.
About the school?
Remember you asked me to explore what I've explored.
Explored what?
My idea about the plastics company. We're learning how to ask for jobs, so I wrote the development department.
You know about the development departments.
Oh, yeah, they're down here all the time. This is a popular place for development, except, well, nobody ever develops it.
Nobody except me and Valentine.
Except me and Valentine. And I figured since he's doing everything he's doing for us, maybe we should do something ourselves to help the school.
Like?
Like seeing if someone bring a plant down here.
What does the letter say, Johnny Lee?
Well, since maybe somebody can.
You mean we could have a real job to practice on?
Well, maybe a bunch. Maybe 100 jobs.
And you did it yourself.
No, not really. You did it too.
Me?
No, I couldn't have done any of this without you stimulating my triceps and all.
I helped you.
I would have never thought about this if I'd never met you.
I helped you. It worked.
Well, it hasn't worked yet.
I helped you.
We've still got some problems.
Maybe I pushed you outside the norms.
You see, the letter sounds pretty good, but...
That's it. You were in the norms, but I stimulated you beyond the established chronologies.
But there are still some things...
Oh, Johnny Lee. I helped you.
Well, there's still one important problem we got to take care of.
What did you do, Johnny Lee?
Well, the letter says...
What letter?
Oh, from Charleston, and well, like I said, we don't have very good transportation down here.
Well, where do we want to go?
It's not that exactly. It's, well, we don't have any airports, and, well, we don't even have a flat place for one.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. See, the air is the best thing, you know, but maybe we can figure something out. Maybe you could stimulate me again.
I'm willing to try.
And if things work out, maybe we could have real-life jobs to interview for.
You mean we could have real jobs to practice on? Oh, Johnny Lee, could I? Notes?
The old railroad side is leading into the abandoned mines.
Supposition to precept.
You see, trucking's out. The letter says that.
A new shipping. Yeah, look who's getting first choice.
Oh, help yourself, fellow students.
This jacket is a little too, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Ah.
Wait till you hear what Johnny A perfect example of mutual influence.
You mean,
And part of the credit is yours.
well, on what?
Teacher-student interaction.
Acquired self-reliance.
Reciprocating response.
Greater output.
Persuasive inducement.
Of course, he had to possess the elevating impulsions himself.
Yes, of course, but you, Mr. Kanker, provided the motivation. You gave him the purposeful goal.
You really think so?
Yes, Mr. Kanker, it must have. You are the teacher.
What?
So am I.
These are the moments that make the sacrifices worthwhile.
But we must never be satisfied.
Oh, indeed not, Miss Cobb. There's so much to be done.
Let us be urged on to new plateaus of fulfillment by what Johnny Lee has done.
What have you done, John Lee?
Yes, Miss Cobb. What has he done?
He's received a letter.
A letter?
From the development people. There could be some new jobs in Cromley County.
Hey, we'll be ready.
It's in the letter.
We'll show them interviews that they've never seen before.
It's in the letter.
Who? Yes, Miss Cobb. Who?
Oh, the plastics people.
The plastics people.
It's in the letter.
It's in the letter. Jobs in Cromley County.
Preposterous. Everybody's talking about this ridiculous letter. It could scuttle Operation Uplift, Miss Cobb.
But Mr. Valentine, I thought that...
You thought? You thought, Miss Cobb? We are not here to think. We are here to know. To know what is best for our young people. Our Operation Uplift.
But I thought that...
There you go again. Do you know what I think, Miss Cobb? I think you have let your emotions obliterate your thought processes. Oh yes, don't think I haven't noticed. I recognize blind love. And you, my dear, are becoming the unsuspecting prey of this wily, scheming, backwoods rapscallion.
In all due respect, I must say, I don't think that...
That's right. You don't think, or you would realize what you're doing to these young people. You would recognize the permanent damage that can be caused by forcing them to face that for which they're not yet prepared. But I understand. Believe me, PM Valentine understands about love. But we are not here for love, Miss Cobb. Your mission is Operation Uplift. And love, Miss Cobb, can not only destroy the project, but the very person you love.
Nothing was harmed the project.
And you, Mr. Kanker. Frankly, I'm surprised that you would not recognize the danger that threatens Operation Uplift. Because you also are being victimized.
Victimized?
By that wench. Oh, I see how you two cling together. Can you imagine how such favoritism affects the other students?
She is an eager student.
Eager? What have you promised her, Mr. Kanker? What? What?
Nothing.
Nothing, he says. Come, Mr. Kanker. Surely you've offered her something. She doesn't respond to other promises.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing? Think, Mr. Kanker. We are here to think.
Nothing. Well, nothing except...
Except what, Mr. Kanker?
Just that she can be the first to be taken.
Oh, so that's it. You're enticing this innocent mountain flower with the promises of fame. How would you like to star in films, my dear?
No. She just has this thing with being taped, photographed.
Just has this thing. Just has this thing. She has this thing because you've implanted it in her childlike mind.
But Mr. Valentine, I hardly talk to her. She plans her own mind. It's just that she always seems to be right there. It's almost as if I need photography as subject matter.
Maybe it's all my fault. Not enough of these straightforward staff meetings. It's important to get our problems out in the open. You're young, and maybe I've let myself get bogged down in the logistics of Operation Uplift. At ease, Mr. Tanker! I must be more involved with your problems, the human problems. Realizing what you must face. Patience. Yes, patience. We cannot move too rapidly, and that is what has happened. Some of the students are overreacting. We must be careful of overreaction and overindulgence.
But we have to reward ingenuity. That's one of the 3 basic axioms of interpersonal sublimation.
We don't reward traitors, Miss Goff, and that's exactly what your Johnny Lee Poon has become.
Poon.
What?
Johnny Lee Poon, not Poon.
Poon, Poon. You see, Miss Goff, you're sticking up for him instead of the project. Your concern is touching, but dangerous. This letter of his can only destroy. Imagine those unsuspecting youngsters with less than a semester of study under their belts, forced to face the terrorizing eyes of a big city's plastic company interviewer. Can you imagine the uncertainty, the permanent damage to their self-confidence? Have you forgotten that we're here to help these people? Your mission is Operation Uplift. Have you lost your sense of mission? Schubert, where are you going?
Oh, I think I've lost my sense of mission.
Oh, son, no! Operation Uplift depends on you, boy.
Mr. Valentine, truthfully.
Not now, Miss Koff. The important thing we have to talk about this week is the community
action plan.
The community action plan. Don't interrupt, Schubert. The community action plan is vital to our uplift. And I called this meeting primarily to have Schubert report on his progress.
There hasn't been any progress.
On his plans for progress. Realizing, of course, that it is just now the time when we're getting ready to shift into action. Community action.
But I don't have any plan.
Of course not. We can't be premature. Remember what I said about going too fast? We can't have sophisticated plans of action until we get the pulse of the people. There is much investigating to be done. And Schubert has been talking with the people. You have been talking with the people, haven't you, Schubert?
Well, I've tried, but I've been having problems.
They don't want to listen. Of course. But that's to be expected at first. These things take time, my boy, time.
Well, it's not that. They're willing to listen. In fact, they just stand there, actually eager to listen. But I don't know what to tell them.
What did I tell you? Already, Schubert has the ear of the public. That's great! And that's why I called this staff meeting. To let you know that Schubert now has the ear of the public and is ready to move on to the next step and formulate a plan of action. We are here today to brainstorm. Yes, that's it. To brainstorm Schubert's ideas. So let's speak right out. What do you think, Miss Goff?
About the letter or the plastics company?
About Schubert's project, Miss Goff. The reason we're here?
Truthfully, I don't know anything about it.
Of course not. I don't expect you to know, not at this stage. We want your thoughts.
Perhaps if Schubert explains the program.
Schubert is explaining. any questions you'd like to throw out for discussion?
The lodge.
Lodge? Have you joined a club?
No, the lodge for the community meetings, the ones you told me to build in the pine.
Oh, yes, the lodge. Yes, the lodge in the pines. Beautiful, beautiful. It's underway?
No, it isn't.
What I mean, of course, is that your plans are underway.
No, they aren't.
Good, good. I'm glad to see that someone in our group is realizing the importance of moving with deliberation. Schubert, tell them about our hopes for the lodge, so that we may bring them up to speed on our level of thinking.
We had discussed the idea of building a lodge to hold community meetings. And I was to see about getting lumber from Congressman Mueller's lumber company, and I thought I should get bids because...
Bids? Did you say bids?
Well, Father always talks about bids.
Did you get any?
No.
Fine, fine. Detail we can work out later. Go on, my boy.
Well, that's where I always seem to run into a stone wall. You see, I'd go inquire about bids someplace else, and they would say what for, and I would say a lodge, and they would say what lodge, and I would say a lodge for the school program, and they would say we already have a building, and I would say this is for the community action part of the project, and they would say what's that, and that's what I couldn't answer.
And you said they wouldn't talk to you. You've been too modest, lad. You've established a line of communication.
What does the lodge have to do with the school?
Tell them, Schubert. That is what we are here to discuss. How to integrate the lodge for community action into the total concept of Operation Uplift. As Schubert recognizes, we need community action. Think of it as Schubert does. Sort of a PTA. Yes, that's it. Parents and teachers. They are the parents. And we are the teachers. Now then, Schubert, I think you can take our feelings, the things we've said here today, back to the people that you have established communications with. Boy, I'm really impressed with how you've done so much in such a short time. See how that's a God-given talent, my boy.
What do I tell them again?
That we must integrate the school program in with the community program. That we are now ready for integration. No, that's not the word. Let me think of what other word is
Unification?
Unification! That's it! Unification! Very good, Mr. Cambridge. Do you see how each person contributes? Brainstorming, you see, it's the essence of solid planning.
Will they know what I mean?
The way you have established communications with them, Schubert, come now. No need to be modest anymore. Besides, we're going to have some help soon.
What help?
From Washington, Miss Goff. Indeed, we will soon embark on a new phase of Operation Uplift. Someone is due to arrive today.
Mr. Valentine, what is this new phase you're talking about?
Well, that must be my little secret for now. But I will tell you this. Your ideas have not gone unheeded today. It's a precious thing to see how the seeds our small step for sowing are beginning to sprout and grow and bloom into the hopes we all share for Operation Uplift and Prominent County. But I've kept you too long for a Saturday. Now go out and enjoy the full flavor of Appalachia. Let me mull over the suggestions you've given me, and I predict some exciting news very soon. Now let me ask you something. Do you remember in the old days when people were content just to make enough to feed their face? Never having to worry or be in any hurry, satisfied but never going any place. But now, friends, you'll see just what's happened to me. Whatever happened to apathy? Good old red-blooded apathy. It just came natural for you and me. Good old American apathy. Oh, these children with ambition are gonna kill the mission. These people with the goal to slay my very soul. I know they mean so well. I wish they'd go to hell and try to be a little less ambitious. Try washing dishes. Whatever happened to apathy? Good old red-blooded apathy. It just came natural for you and me. Good old American apathy. Now the shooters just plain stupid and freaks playing Cupid. This coffee do no harm if she were on a farm. I know they mean so well. I wish they'd go to hell and try to be a little less ambitious. It's too suspicious. Whatever happened to apathy? Good old American apathy. It just came natural for you and me. Good old apple. A-P-A-T-H-Y. In the street just makes me cry. Whatever happened to apathy? Whipkey, good to see you. Welcome aboard.
This place is even more remote than I thought.
You have no idea. No idea. Tell me, is the world still out there?
Somewhere. I hope I can find it again.
A long trip?
I'll say. I was 4 miles within this place 4 hours ago. In that direction. We had to go clear to the state capital to land.
You saw this place from the air?
I had it pointed out to me. For a purpose, and I must say, my idea is confirmed.
Idea?
A solution to your problem. At least I think so.
Tell me more. And call me BM.
Roger, DM. First let me catch my breath and brush off this dust. There sure does seem to be plenty of that around here.
I know. Part of it's from the restless natives.
So you got that problem, eh, BM?
Well, I have that problem. Now it seems to be growing.
You mean there's more than one rebel with a letter?
No, just one. But now I've found out that he's getting encouragement from a member of my own staff. And I've also discovered a disgusting infatuation. And Schubert tried to go home. I almost lost him today.
You can't let that happen. One of the last things Leonard Peterson said to me before
I know. If Schubert goes home, Uplift goes down the drain.
He was pretty emphatic.
Oh, that's what I need. Encouragement.
Well, where would you like to begin?
Well, you said you had a solution.
Well, I've worked something out. In fact, your problem with the rebellious student was actually a plus factor for me.
A plus factor?
You see, a standard presentation writer, at least a good one, learned early on in the game how to turn adversity into advantage. So what I did was analyze the problem you had with young, what's his name?
Johnny Lee.
Who? Does everyone have a name like that down here?
Oh, no. There's Uchi and Flacco.
What you have here, BM, is a man who can hurt your project.
You came 500 miles to give me that revealing bit of information?
You can short-circuit the operation with silver lining.
Silver lining?
Sorry, trade expression, optimism. It can be devastating in a project like Operation Uplift.
The plus factor.
Well, by the way, I began to look for a precedent, and I found one, in a case similar to yours. Well, not really similar. In this case, it's a girl and a ghetto instead of a mountain, but the silver lining, the optimism, was quite pronounced.
The plus factor.
No, indeed. The plus factor was the timing.
I see. I don't see. Are these riddles necessary?
I'm trying to explain in layman's terms, BM. You see, the problem came at a good time because I was ready to make a re-acceleration presentation anyway.
What the hell is that?
A new standard presentation. You can't just fly through a program with one standard presentation. Every now and then you have to add more to the kitty. Re-accelerate. Give it a operation, don't you, BM?
Love it. Love it.
Of course, we don't exactly mention the problem with the reacceleration presentation.
What the hell do we mention?
We move into phase 2 of Operation Uplift. Operation Liftoff.
Lift off.
In the ghetto case, a program was set up to take that one eager student into every corner of her environment, every pocket of poverty. She had never truly seen how overwhelming the problem could be. She was faced with the magnitude. She came to realize the foolishness of attempting to find an instant solution. After that, she settled down to the pace of the program, and as far as I know, she never upset anything again.
I don't think the same thing would work for Johnny Lake. He's tramped all over these mountains and he thinks they're beautiful.
I anticipated that. It's part of the standard presentation writer's job to anticipate. But has he seen it from the air?
I don't think so.
The strip mine areas, the burned out sections of forests, the pitiful winding dirt roads, they're perfect. If he has the intelligence you talked about on the telephone, he'll get the idea.
The plus factor.
Right, we've won a reacceleration grant to bus the students to Charleston and fly over the area, and they get the opportunity to see the big picture.
And this big picture, it's pretty bad, huh?
Bad? Okay, I was convinced from the photographs and topological maps, but I was ecstatic when I saw it today. Ecstatic!
And you said you have a plan.
Right here. It involves busing the students to Charleston, then flying over the area, during which you set up a lecture so they don't get to see the nice parts of the state, just Cromley County.
What about Congressman Neal? He owns the strip mines. What does he say?
Well, that's the beautiful part, Ian. See, we only need his endorsement for the original presentation. Now we go directly to the committee. The signs, what can the congressman do? The rent for the school alone keeps him out of it.
I see you have cost figures for 5 air trips.
Right, in case it takes that many, but one should do it. We like to play it safe on the money thing. If we ask for less than $500,000, it would get turned down anyways. It has to be sizable enough to have relevance according to the guidelines, VM.
You know, Whitkey, a thought occurs to me. If I perhaps took one representative student on one of those flights to chart the course and more or less time the lecture, planning, you know, I could get a student's point of view.
Do you have anyone in particular in mind?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps someone who's interested in photography or videotaping. You know, someone who would enjoy the view. How long would you say one of these trips would take?
Well, I've estimated 3 hours in the reacceleration presentation, VM.
3 hours? That sounds about right.
Do you want me to add to the presentation, VM?
No. It's just a plus factor, Whitkey.
Call me Mildred, VM.
All right, Mildred. And you can call me BM. Only maybe not quite so often.
Could it be the airplane ride this afternoon? Or one this morning?
Did you know about the 12th flight?
Just think, right now, being Valentine is somewhere up there with your favorite pupil.
That's a long walk down.
Look out for that first step, Leota.
This is ridiculous.
Don't worry, she's a big girl.
Yeah.
I think he is worried, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Are you worried, teacher?
Why should I be worried? I've flown hundreds of times, even across the ocean. Twice.
He's worried, Floppo. He's pretending like he doesn't know what we're talking about.
You don't have to pretend, Mr. Tanker.
We understand. I wouldn't want her up there neither if I were you. Me neither. Not if I was you.
What are you babbling about anyway?
About love, teacher.
Yeah, love.
Well,
Give me a hint, Floppo. It comes creeping out of the mountains every summer. It bites everyone. And you know what bites worst?
Like a fever.
Right out of the mountains.
That's right, Mr. Pega. The mountains are full of it.
It'll get you too, teacher.
Can you feel it?
I can feel it. I can feel it.
Look out, teacher. Here it comes. Maybe not.
Love from the mountains. I'm not so sure there ain't something else in the mountains this summer.
Ain't you?
Something else?
Like what?
Like, I don't know.
You worried about yoga?
No. I'm talking about the school.
School?
What's wrong with the school?
Well, I'd like to think that nothing, I don't know, maybe not nothing. Forget it.
There's something wrong with the school?
We wouldn't know, John Lee.
All right, I'll tell you. Did you ever ask yourself, well, maybe this school isn't what we think it is.
What is it?
But did you ever ask yourself what you was getting from it?
Stuff to wear.
Learning things.
And scholarships. It don't cost us nothing.
That's right, it don't cost us nothing. And did you ever think, maybe what you was getting for your nothing, maybe it was nothing?
What do you want for nothing?
I don't want nothing for nothing.
But isn't that what you said we're getting?
Oh, never mind, forget it. You're happy with what you're getting.
Something wrong with being happy, John Lee?
That's not what I mean.
It seems like you never mean what you say.
What I'm saying is you're happy being in the norms.
What's the norm?
Oh, never mind. I don't understand it myself. You're just all happy with what you're getting right now.
You mean being happy's bad, John Lee?
Is that the norm?
All right, I'll tell you. What are you getting out of that school? Darling, you getting anything from school? How about you, Floppo?
Well, yeah.
You getting anything from school, Richie? See what I mean? Nothing.
Now wait a minute, John Lee. We're learning to interview, ain't we?
Yeah. Morning, ma'am.
Good morning. I come to an interview.
Well, that's right good. You got on a nice dress.
Well, thank you.
And you said right off what you was here for.
I know I did. I don't know
Wherever did you come to know about a thing like that?
purpose. In school?
Junior high school?
No, sirree. And I'm special school. The Crown County Advanced Community Center for interviewing school.
Well, they sure know how to do it up there, don't they?
They sure do.
What do you want anyhow?
A job, that's what.
Well, you sure know how to interview. You're hot.
Now that's got to be stupid. Just what job are you interviewing for?
Job like this.
But there ain't any jobs.
That don't mean there won't be none.
Take a look around. Do you see anybody that's got offering any jobs? Have you talked to anybody about any jobs? You know what happened when I tried to get some jobs?
What happened?
Well, no one hurt themselves trying to help me, that's for sure.
But they said they ain't ready yet.
No, and maybe we're not going to be ready. Maybe they don't want us to be ready.
You mean Mr. Keller?
I don't know.
We kind of like Mr. Keller.
Yeah, I like him.
And especially if you older.
See what I mean? You can't even be serious long enough to know what's going on.
But it's the mountains.
That's right, it's the mountains, and you're all dumb hillbillies.
We know that, John Lee. But ain't that why we're in school?
Ain't you done hillbilly too, Johnny?
Yeah, I am.
And if you hate the school so much, how come you go?
How come I go?
Besides, what's it gonna hurt?
We like it. Ain't that
No, that ain't enough.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it is maybe we're hoping for something to happen that is never going to happen.
Like jobs?
You like jobs.
But you ain't sure.
No, I ain't sure, but I've been thinking.
You're always thinking.
I've been thinking. They say they're giving us a chance to get good jobs, by learning how to show the world we're not slobs. But I'm afraid when they get through with us, we're gonna get it in the end. We'll have our classrooms equipped with every fan. Congressmen who seldom most certainly are glad. We think our teachers that try to do their best, but finding some employment will be the final test. They say the government is helping to ensure that all the benefits derived are ours to show. But if the promise turns to pure manure, we're gonna get it in the end. We're gonna get it in the end. We're gonna get it in the end.
Oh, screw. Yeah, you worried too much.
Think about the love from the mountains, Johnny.
Maybe you're right about the school, maybe you're not.
Well, it's summer.
And that's a bad time to worry.
Come on and smile, Johnny.
The bus is here for the airport.
Now you know how I feel.
It's no surprise.
I guess it's obvious what I gotta do. I'm finished with school, Rosemary.
No, Johnny Lee.
But they asked me why I was in school and I can't even tell them.
You mustn't leave the school, Johnny Lee.
But you heard what I said about it.
You can't leave, you have to stay. What if you're right?
You think I'm right?
No, I don't. But what if you are?
Well, then I have to leave.
No, you must stay.
I'm gonna stay, but the way I feel,
You must stay, Johnny Lee.
I can't go back in there.
You must, for the others.
That don't make a bit of sense. I've already lost all my friends, and Darla's right. I don't even smile anymore.
You have to stay because they are your friends.
Were.
Are. You see, Johnny Lee, if you're wrong, then you will find out and everyone will be happy. Even you. But if you're right, you'd want them to find out if you are their friend.
But you think I'm wrong.
Well, I want you to be wrong. Wrong or right, I don't want you to desert the school. I want you to stay.
Oh. All right. Come on, we're gonna miss the bus.
Did the plane crash?
Crash, smash, splash. Unfortunately not.
You're airsick.
That too.
But you're supposed to meet the bus to Charleston.
You meet the bus. Let her meet the bus.
Her? Who are you talking about, man?
That long-legged Patricia Boudoir, that nymphomanahar.
The girl you took on the airplane.
Let her meet the bus. She ought to know where to go better than I.
I'm afraid your plane escaped you, DM.
She ought to be able to navigate.
Would you mind putting things into context, DM?
You and that airplane ride of yours. Do you know what that Jezebel did?
How do I know?
She got herself locked into the cockpit with the pilot and the co-pilot.
Could you do anything about it?
Do anything? What? Break in? Hijack my own plane? Besides, I did get sick.
You? Sick from flying?
Not from flying, bouncing all over the place. There must have been one hell of a fight in there over who was going to fly the plane and who was going to give Leota a tour.
The whole trip?
The whole miserable 3 hours.
How could they?
An accident. She just wanted to see the instrument panel. She called it the dials.
And they let her in?
Let her in? No, they pulled her in. And the door jammed.
Hard to believe, I'll admit.
Not any harder to believe than how it magically opened. And as soon as the wheels hit the runway 3 hours later.
But she's conducting the student trip.
Oh, I don't think so. I wouldn't let that hillbilly Tokyo Rose conduct a tour of the Mountain Laurel.
But she's meeting the bus.
No, the pilot's meeting the bus. She's back here.
Oh, you did drive her home.
No, she drove me home. And that car bounced more than the airplane.
I'm sorry to hear that, Dan. I promised to stay and see this reacceleration presentation program too, and I think you better have a seat. opportunity you hadn't told me about.
Can't wait with me.
I don't think so. You see, it involves a very original structure. The school and a student named Johnny Lee.
Why, that cannot be little. I thought you said this reacceleration flight, or whatever you call the damn thing, was supposed to take care of him.
Oh, I have confidence. It's worked before, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
Precisely. However, this Johnny Lee is of somewhat uncommon extraction.
What?
Sorry, great expression. A different breed, not the usual person you expect.
And?
Well, he's more vulnerable than we expected.
In what way?
Well, I overheard him this morning before the bus left, and, well, he seems convinced that the school's trying to, help the students.
Kill him. I'll kill him. That's worse than this thing about jobs. What if this reacceleration flight doesn't work?
Well, I have thought about that possibility. However, you know, I have confidence in the trip. This place is pretty discouraging to look at from the air, don't you think?
How the hell would I know?
However, there is something else unique in here, and you had informed me of that.
What?
Your young assistant, Miss Cobb?
Miss Goff? What's that social sorceress doing now? I warned her about thinking.
Well, she not only encourages him to stay in school, I believe she's the driving force keeping him here.
Well, we'll fire her. She's through. As of right now, she's gone.
I don't think it's going to be that easy, BM. Have you ever thought what might happen if she decided to sing?
Sing?
Sing? That's not a trained expression, is it? You know, sing, squeal, turn informer.
Informer to whom?
To Washington.
Washington? But the school's legit. It's cleared all the way through the Washington channels. You wrote the presentation yourself.
Well, it's clear through the in-party channels, but there are the out-party channels to consider. That's the trouble with democracy. There's always an opposition party to go squeal to.
But Miss Cobb, she's on our side. She believes in the school. She doesn't suspect, I hate to use that word, does she?
No, not now, but this Johnny Lee, I'm afraid she encourages him to think.
Against my orders.
Orders?
I warned them about encouraging students to think.
Well, I believe this whole trip project will work in spite of the uncommon extraction.
Good.
However, if it doesn't, we're going to have to find a way to separate Miss Coffin and the boy. Love is in the air. It seems to be an obsession down here. But maybe that's her ace in the hole. If she should lose interest in him, I think he would leave the school with or without a successful flight.
If she should lose interest, well, how do you propose we... Oh, Miss Miggs. Still apologetic, I see. Have you had any other feelings from the ride in the cockpit of the airplane? Oh, don't worry. I've told Miss Whipke all about how you were forced against your will to the den of those fly boys.
I'm sorry about what happened, Mr. Valentine.
You're sorry? You jeopardized the entire school program and you're sorry? That's it? You're sorry?
Please, Mr. Valentine, I didn't mean to.
You didn't mean to. I seem to recall you asking to see the dials. Come. Please, don't compound it with false humility. Spare me that.
Really, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did to the school, but I'd do anything to make it up.
Anything?
Anything but that.
Anything. Let's see. Yes. There is something you can do, Miss Miggs. Something that you do quite well. Something that you must do to save the school.
I can save the school?
Let me think for a moment. This calls for a bit of sacrifice. Let's see, how can we accomplish it?
What should I do?
Wait, the thought processes. We must work this out carefully. The school is at stake. Yes. Miss Miggs, I will need you to use your assets to full advantage.
I'm going to be taped?
Close. I want you to use your creative talent.
Creative talent?
Acting, my dear. I want you to do some acting.
You'll tape me?
Not on tape, forget tape. More creative. Live acting. I want you to do some live acting. Right here on these steps. No, not now. Let's see. Let's say tomorrow night. Around 8 o'clock.
What do you...
Wait, don't interrupt the thought processes. Ah, yes. Now this must remain a secret. You mustn't tell anyone about it.
About what, Mr. Valentine?
The art of teasing, Miss Minx. I want you to tease him with all the passion and your beautiful assets. I want you to invite him into your arms, into your bosom, your body. Your eyes will say, "Come to my bosom, Johnny Lee."
Johnny Lee? No, I can't do that.
You can, you must, you will. For the school.
He'd hate me.
He'd love you. Johnny Lee is human.
Not him, I mean Mr. Caker.
Caker? How the hell will you get in here?
Mr. Caker would hate me.
Caker? And that matters?
I don't think he believes in it.
Oh, I'd make book on that. But it matters not, my dear. For the school. The school!
No.
The airplane. Remember the airplane?
Mr. Caker would hate me.
You said that. But how will he feel when he finds out about you in the cockpit of that airplane? What do you need to know? That could be our little secret. You do this one little secret thing for me, and I keep both secrets. Tit for tat, so to speak. And you do owe me something, Miss Minx, don't you?
But you want me to do that with Johnny Lee right here?
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And it'll be just for you two.
Well, how do I ask him?
That will be my part of the secret. You just be here and act, my dear. You will be Juliet, and you will make him your Romeo.
Does he want to play?
Oh, he will. He will. Or we'll get a grant to send him to the Mayo Clinic.
What?
Never mind. Just do your part, and remember, we mustn't tell anyone. It must remain a secret.
But how will I know when to stop?
Don't worry about that. Just be here, and we'll take care of the rest later. And remember, no one must know, not even Johnny Lee.
I must confess, Ian, you lost me.
Oh, Whiskey, the thought processes, the Valentine thought processes are back in motion. Call it a re-acceleration of the re-acceleration. That's a trade expression. Meaning, of course, if your re-acceleration doesn't work, we can still draw another card or two.
Miss Minx.
Keep your standard presentations coming, Whiskey. But we've added a safety valve. When you're staring into the cold eyes of adversity, there's only one way to do things, and that is the Valentine way. We have a dangerous enemy, a fiend, suspicion. Jobs. He's after Jobs. Make no mistake about it, Whiskey. Can you imagine what would happen? One little slip, and Operation Uplift would be teetering on the brink of success.
Everyone's talking about your idea.
They are.
And they should. It's absolutely brilliant. Johnny Lee, your leadership quality simply astounds me.
Oh, it's not that good, really.
Yes, it is. You're definitely a leader. Definitely. I even found you in the social book.
You did?
Definitely. You were there all the time. I just didn't recognize you.
No kidding. Hey, what do I look like?
Like a leader. Lady leadership. That's what it's called. Like exposed film that hasn't been developed yet. You can't see anything yet, but it's there. It has to be developed before you can recognize it. See? Latent leadership, get it?
No.
Well, who seen a creepy old abandoned strip mine and figured it could be an airport. And from 7,000 feet.
Just me, I guess.
It's true. Even Uchi likes the idea. And Flacco mentioned the word job on the way home. Didn't you notice?
I was busy thinking.
I couldn't sleep last night. It took me till 3 o'clock to find you in the social book, and then I couldn't sleep. And this morning, Uchi says everybody says you've done it.
It?
Found the answer. An airport in Cromley County, and just yesterday you said they weren't your friends.
They really like it, huh?
So do I. Imagine a big flat place out there in the mountains.
Well, it's gonna take a lot of bulldozing.
You'll find a way.
You think so?
Latent leadership. Plain and simple. Only it's not late now.
Rosemary,
Yes, Johnny.
tell me again what latent is.
The undeveloped picture. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Now that everyone can see the picture, they want to join you.
Oh?
That's leadership. I should have known it from the letter. Dr. Gustafson would have recognized it right away. But it doesn't matter now. It's burst out in the open for everyone to see.
Just because I saw an old abandoned mine?
Because you recognized it for what it could be.
Of course, we don't know if anyone from Charleston is going to like it.
No, they'll like it.
And there's one more thing. Mr. Valentine.
Well, we'll just have to make him like it.
You mean you'd take my side against Mr. Valentine?
Gee, I really think I would.
You don't like the idea of jobs.
I really think I would.
Matter of fact, sometimes I don't think he likes the idea.
After all, I'm not his slave.
Or me.
Are you what?
Oh, I don't think he likes me very well.
Who doesn't like you?
Mr. Valentine.
Oh, posh. Well, maybe he doesn't, but it's just because he thinks you're a rebel. Not from the Civil War, Johnny Lee, but because he thinks your letter to the plastics company hurt the school.
But won't this just make things worse?
Well, maybe, but maybe not. Listen, it's going to take a long time to build an airport, and how long can a class study interviews? You know, sometimes I think Mr. Valentine's in here.
Rosemary, I'm glad you like my idea.
It's a good idea, Johnny Lee.
It's not that I care so much about the idea as I do about you caring for it. Well, that don't make much sense, does it?
Yes, it does.
Because, you see, Rosemary,
Yes, Johnny Lee.
you and I,
Be a leader, Johnny Lee.
I'm trying. Something always. Maybe it's that book. It's just you're so intelligent and all. I can't.
No, I'm not, Johnny Lee. Yes, you can, Johnny Lee.
I can't. Would it be hard to see Rosemary and Johnny Lee as lovers, lovers, lovers here tonight?
obsessed. When teacher and pupil fall madly in love, it shouldn't consider consequence. Just as sure as ABC, Rosemary and Johnny Lee are lovers, lovers, lovers here tonight.
Hi, Johnny Lee.
Hi, Donnelly.
The old ghetto trick. Tell me something, Wiki. Is there a trade expression for stupid? How about murder? Let him see how bad things are. Get rid of the, what was it? The silver lining. Get rid of the school sounds more appropriate. Wouldn't you say so, Wiki? Well, it's a good thing that B.M. Valentine is in the old volcano. Because the old ghetto trick is turning into the old strip mine trick. An old airport trick. An old airport trick. Airport. Yes, quite a trick, my boy. Quite a trick. Is the school valuable? Is B.M. Valentine helping the students? Let the student discover for himself. Remember, the essence of education.
You mean you're not mad?
I didn't say that. Age has its wisdom and youth its idealism, my boy.
What does that mean?
Half-cocked, I believe is the vernacular. You do know what going off half-cocked is, I presume.
Oh, yeah.
But that is not to say I do not respect your opinion, no matter what flaws it may suggest. No, indeed, not at all. In fact, I think it bears investigation, rational contemplation, maybe even brainstorming. Yes, brainstorming. The essence of it. You haven't done anything, have you? Written any more letters or anything like that, have you, my boy?
Oh, no, I haven't had a chance.
Good. Very good. Well, this thing must be worked out carefully.
You mean you want me to work on the idea?
Want you to, my boy. I'll help you. It's the mission of a true educator to kindle the spark of exuberance. I'll work with you. Now let's see. Can you come back here as early as tonight?
Anytime, Mr. Valentine.
Okay. Let's say 8-ish, shall we?
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock on the dot. Oh, I think I can make it that soon. Well, be here at 8, and if I'm a little late, just wait for me. I shouldn't be too long.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Valentine. 8 o'clock. I'll be here.
All right. Oh, and just for now, let's not tell anyone, even Mr. Kanker and Miss Hawk, favoritism, you know. I wouldn't want the others to think I'm showing favoritism. Let's keep it to ourselves until we formulate a plan of action.
I won't tell a soul.
Okay.
8 o'clock tonight. I'll be here. Thanks again, Mr. Valentine.
Oh, and just a minute, boy. Did I see Miss Goff go into the school?
I think so.
Okay, well, I must go over some business with her. Could you send her out?
Oh, sure. Thanks again, Mr. Valentine. I'll be here.
Tonight at 8 o'clock.
The Valentine way.
Oh, that's right, Whitney. That scheming young conniver barely has his idea off the ground yet. Oh, I hate that expression. Whitney, you say you're a specialist, right?
Right.
Well, P.M. Valentine is a specialist too. A troubleshooter, you might say. When there's trouble, Whitney, P.M. Valentine shoots straight from the head. No pussyfooting. No time for standard presentations. Straight from the head. This is a good thing we got going here. And P.M. Valentine doesn't like to give up good things easily. Now, the first step in troubleshooting is to get rid of the trouble. That makes sense. doesn't it, Whippy?
Yes, I would say so.
And in this case, the trouble can be defined as the strong influence from a meddling female assistant. Would you say that's a fair assumption, Whippy?
Go on.
And you say we can't eliminate the meddling assistant because of the ridiculous two-party system or something of that sort.
Well, I didn't exactly say it that way, but
So by simple elimination, Whippy, that means we have to get rid of the influence. Reduce it to 0. Oh, Miss Goff, my dear, I would like a word with you.
Johnny Lee seems happy.
Of course. I want all of our young people to be happy, Miss Goff.
You must have been nice to him.
And why not? When have I not been nice to one of our budding young Appalachian students?
But you know about...
The idea of an airport, of course. And something will be done about that idea. If, of course, it proves to have merit.
If?
Well, these things take time, Miss Goff. And things are not always as rosy as a young mind imagines. And I've observed that Johnny Lee is, well, a little prone to succumb to any passion of the moment. Not always stable. But enough of that for right now. We have a school to be concerned with, students to uplift, you know.
Yes, we do.
And we have a big job to do. Now that the reacceleration phase has proven to be so successful, we must assimilate the new phase into the basic structure of the program. You know, we don't want any uncoordinated segments or loose ends, can we?
Certainly not.
Now, I would like to get busy on this right away. Well, as soon as possible. Would you by any chance be free tonight, Miss Goff?
Oh, well, truthfully, Mr. Valentine, I thought...
Fine. We'll get started this evening. I want to have something in writing by tomorrow. It would make all the difference. Can we say 8:15?
If you say so,
Here at the school.
If you say so, Mr. Valentine.
Excellent. Oh, and please be prompt, Miss Goff. 15, you know how I am about punctuality?
8:15.
All right. Now, I'd like to keep this confidential. Now, I don't want you to tell anyone. In fact, I insist on it. I have my reasons. Now, what I have in mind for the uncoordinated effort ties in with the overall plan of action. It includes...
What are you doing here?
Nothing special, Johnny Lee. Just standing here.
Yeah?
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm supposed to... Well, nothing special.
I guess we just happen to be here then, alone.
Yeah, right now anyway.
Johnny Lee, I like you.
Thanks.
In fact, Johnny Lee,
In fact, what, Neal?
you know.
Yeah, I think I do, but... I thought you had your eye on Mr. Canker.
Well, whatever made you think that?
Well, it was kind of obvious, I guess.
I like him too, but he's hopeless.
Hopeless?
And it's not working, is it, Johnny Lee?
Not working?
You're gonna make me get away from you, aren't you?
Well...
You just want me to go away, don't you?
What?
I did my best, but it didn't work, isn't that right?
If I knew what you was talking about, maybe I could give you an answer. Wait a minute, Neal.
Huh? It seems like once I get started, I just can't stop.
Well, then, we can't very well, can we?
I guess not very easy. What's wrong with me anyway?
Nothing. Nothing I can see from here, anyway.
Maybe we shouldn't.
No, we should.
Should?
Yeah, we have to. We have to. It's working.
You can't have it.
Johnny Lee!
I love you.
How did Canker?
What was that noise?
I don't believe it, Whippy. Do you believe it? First Canker, Mildred, don't worry. We tried. We tried.
I really wasn't worried about myself, PM.
Good, good. Don't worry, it wasn't entirely your fault that things happened to take a turn for the worse since you came down to supervise.
Supervise?
Come. Surely you don't think I would hold this problem against you. You tried to help.
I'm trying no, PM. I didn't try.
Tut. We're in this thing together. All the way. After all, we only wanted what was best for the program, for Operation Uplift.
And where exactly would you say Operation Uplift now stands?
Oh, I don't know. I'm a people. And sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose. It's the essence of something or other. Well, it looks like Bromley County is destined to have jobs. It's a shame. A shame. It was the perfect place for an assistance program.
It did seem that way.
Well, Mildred, I guess we could at least make a decent report out of it, wouldn't you say?
Well, I guess so.
The school. It's been a good school, don't you think, Mildred?
Yes, I agree.
Now, it would take a miracle. A miracle! Schubert! You too?
What was that noise, Mr. Valentine? I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk, and then I heard this blood-curdling scream.
A miracle! A miracle, Whippy! And what is a miracle? It's a PM Valentine thought process put back into motion.
PM.
And in this case, Whippy, the miracle is Schubert. Schubert. What have I said all along, Michael? In the final analysis of things, Operation Uplift is going to depend on you. You, Schubert.
Me?
Just as I've always told you. Confidentially, I wanted to wait until tomorrow, but since you're here, I can't hold the excitement from you any longer, my boy. Whippy, have you ever thought about what the ultimate obstruction might be?
Obstruction?
The supreme blockade. Expedite job opportunities will be. The time has come, Schubert. We're closing the gate, Whippy, putting our thumbs in the night. Oh, your father would be proud of you, Schubert. Thank you. Don't fall behind. You're ready, Schubert. Of course you are. Why do you think I've been preparing you? Building your confidence. Why? The thought process would be the thought process in motion again. What is the one thing that will assure us of time? Lots of time, all the time we need. Schubert, my boy, tomorrow it starts. Tomorrow, you will form the Citizens Committee. It'll be the Bromley County Regional Action Control, the CRAP. Form a committee to conceptualize the thought patterns to iterate to the school. Then a subcommittee for the inquiry of procedures. Once we have all the committees,